What's up guys, Houndish here, and today, the next chunk of content launches for Destiny 2 Final Shape. And with the first weekly reset alongside the expansion, we also get the launch of Echoes, which is Destiny 2's first episode. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on today. Firstly, exotic class items will begin to drop according to Bungie, so we'll talk about that, and we'll recap on all the potential perks that the class items can roll. But additionally, we'll talk about Episode 1, some of the new content we'll find on Nessus, and then a little bit later in the week, we have the return of Trials. There's some new weapons there, and additionally we have a handful of other items to round up today, so we'll take a bit more of an in-depth look at some of the content we'll be jumping into this week. If you enjoy the video, get subscribed for more Destiny content, but without further delay, let's get into it. And the first thing we should touch on is the launch of Echoes. This is Destiny 2's first episode. Episodes are sort of replacing seasons, and Bungie have said, like every episode released in Year 7, Echoes will feature 3 acts, which each are about 6 weeks long, with Act 2 launching on July 16th, and Act 3 going live on August 27th. These are key points in which new quest chains will unfold alongside the addition of new activities that feature new rewards. And they say in Act 1, we'll be introduced to the 3-player Breach executable activity, which will engage us in active combat zones on the transforming surface of Nessus while attempting to track down ancient Vex technology. Failsafe will run intel, pointing us towards hotspots of strange planetary activity, while we fend off enemies bent on taking these technologies for themselves. Of course, there will be new rewards. Bungie show off some of the weapons right here. I'm really liking the Vex theme on these, a little bit similar to Vault of Glass, but also new armor ornaments, which are pretty funky, and Echoes will also see the return of some weapons from Season of Dawn, and so there'll be some cool stuff to go after. And in terms of expanding Artifact and Season Pass, they say the artifacts will grow and offer new possibilities as each episode develops, and while we get the new artifact early in Final Shape, there's plenty to unlock as we earn experience and complete challenges. And with the launch of Act 2, the artifact will have an additional row of perks added, with another one on the way during Act 3, and each brings 5 more powerful perks to the table to shift the meta in interesting ways over time. Plus, the Season Pass will see an expanded Path of Pursuit as it powers up 50 ranks with each Act release. So we'll get the traditional 100 ranks as Act 1 launches, with 50 added per Act for a total of 200 unlocks and rewards to chase before the conclusion of the story. And so Echoes is also looking pretty cool there. Let us know your thoughts about it down below, and as always, I will keep you posted on that new content when we get it. Up next though, let's speak about exotic class items, as this is going to be another key piece of content for this week. And while Echoes, of course, is the episode content, the season content if you like, alongside the Final Shape, exotic class items are directly tied to the expansion, so at the moment we don't know precisely how we're going to unlock them, but Bungie did say they are part of a new activity that we'll get in week 2. They haven't spoiled what the activity is about, but they have confirmed that it's completely farmable and that we'll get a guaranteed random roll every time we complete it, so it is something that we can just farm away at for as long as we like really. And Bungie have kindly revealed all of the exotic perks that we'll be able to roll on the class items, so these new class items can combine exotic intrinsic perks from various pieces of exotic armor, some of them actually coming from different classes to the one we're playing. So looking at the Hunter's exotic cloak, Essentialism, the first column is able to roll Spirit of the Assassin, where finishes and powered melee final blows grant invisibility, but it can also roll Spirit of Inmost Light, and using an ability empowers the other 2 abilities, granting them improved energy regeneration. Then there's Spirit of Ophidian, where weapons ready very quickly, Spirit of the Dragon, where using your class ability reloads all weapons and increases weapon handling speeds for a short time. But there's also Spirit of Galanor, where hits and final blows with your super will return super energy after it ends. Spirit of the Foe Tracer, where damaging a powerful combatant or guardian with an ability grants you temporary damage bonus for weapons matching that ability's element. And then the Spirit of Caliban, and powered melee final blows will trigger an ignition, as well as Spirit of Renewal, where allies inside the Duskfield take reduced damage, and targets inside the area deal reduced damage as well. Then the second slot of the Hunter class item will be able to roll Spirit of the Star Eater, and while your super energy is full, picking up an Orb of Power overcharges your super, granting it bonus damage. Keep in mind, much like other pieces of gear, this second column will pair up with the first column, so the Hunter one can also get Spirit of Syntheseps, with improved melee damage when surrounded, Spirit of Verity, and weapon final blows with a damage type matching your grenade grant a stacking grenade damage bonus, and Spirit of Chitarachny, where we gain Woven Mail when we use a grenade. Lastly though, there is Spirit of the Gaia Falcon, and void weapons gain volatile rounds after you emerge from being invisible, Spirit of the Liar, and dealing damage with a powered melee or being hit by a melee attack will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful counterpunch. Then we have Spirit of Wormhusk, where dodging gives a small health and shield bump, as well as Spirit of Coyote, where we gain an additional class ability charge. So those are the Hunter perks. Then for the Titan's exotic class item, which is called Stoicism, the first column can get Spirit of Assassin, Inmost Light, Spirit of Ophidian, but also Spirit of Severance, where powered melee or finisher final blows unleash a damaging explosion. Then slot 1 can get Spirit of Hoarfrost, where your barricade becomes a wall of stasis crystals that slows nearby targets when created. Spirit of Eternal Warrior, where we gain a damage bonus for weapons matching your super element when the super ends. Abeyant, which improves Drenga's Lash, and Drenga's Lash projectiles track targets more aggressively and travel further. Then Spirit of the Bear, where we can move faster while guarding with the Unbreakable Shield, and damage blocked with this shield is converted to super energy. Then slot 2 for Titans can get Spirit of the Star Eater, as well as Spirit of Syntheseps, Spirit of Verity, and Spirit of Contact, where damaging a target with a powered melee causes all nearby targets to suffer lightning strikes and become jolted. But there's also Spirit of Scars, and final blows with weapons that have a damage type matching your super create a burst of healing around you that grants allies restoration. Then the Spirit of the Horn, and Barricade unleashes a blast of solar energy, as well as Spirit of Alpha Lupi, which generates a healing pulse when Barricade is activated, and finally Armamentarium, where we gain an additional grenade charge. For the Warlock's class item though, which is called Solipsism, the first column can roll Spirit of Assassin, Inmost Light, Ophidian, and Spirit of the Stag, where Rift provides damage reduction to allied guardians standing within it. Then we have Spirit of the Filaments, and casting an empowered Rift will grant you Devour. Spirit of Necrotic, where damaging combatants with your melee poisons them, and defeating a poisoned enemy spreads the condition. Then there's Osmiomancy, where grenades recharge quicker on hits, and the Seeker spawn from Cold Snap grenades travels further. And finally Spirit of Apotheosis, where we temporarily gain greatly increased melee and grenade regen after a super ends. For the second column though, the Warlock Bond can roll Spirit of the Star Eater, Syntheseps, Verity, and Vesper, where Rifts periodically release arc shockwaves. Then the Spirit of Harmony, and final blows with weapons with a damage type matching your super element will grant you super energy. Starfire, where grenades recharge from empowered weapon damage, with empowered weapon final blows granting more energy. Then we have Spirit of the Swarm, where destroying a tangle spawns threadlings, and finally Spirit of the Claw, where we gain an additional melee charge. So just another breakdown of all of the perks right there, since they are dropping this week. And obviously there are going to be some pretty juicy combinations. It's just as well that we're able to farm this activity continuously, given how many different combos there are. But nonetheless, let us know down below what you're most excited to pick up, and later on today when they become available, I'll be sure to keep you guys posted on precisely how we can get them. The final mention for now though, with the return of Trials of Osiris this Friday at the Daily Reset, is for a couple of the weapons that we're going to be able to pick up from Trials. So firstly, there is a new one, which is Aetius Care. This is a new strand pulse rifle. It's actually a heavy burst pulse, so it's going to be interesting to try this one out. In the first trait column, we can roll Keep Away, as well as Zen Moment, Slice, Gutshot Straight, Encore, and To the Pain, which is a new one this season, and while the weapon is equipped, taking damage increases handling and aim assist until the weapon is stowed. But slot 1 can also get Under Pressure, with slot 2 able to roll Hatchling, as well as Kill Clip, Collective Action, Desperado, and then Golden Tricorn, Headseeker, or Moving Target. So it's going to be quite an interesting weapon right there. Can't guarantee exactly which weapons will be featured in the first week of Trials, but it's going to be one to look out for with that event returning on a weekly basis again. But also look out for things like Incisor. There are new versions of this, and it would appear as well that Eye of Sol and Sheora's Wrath have been updated to be featured in the loot pool for Trials this season. So I'll link Same 14's inventory down below on LightGG so that you guys can check out any more of those rolls if you're interested. Another one though, a quick mention here, but with Xur now requiring strange coins, of course he'll still come back every Friday, but if there are any things that you think are particularly useful looking at Xur's inventory from when he was here last week, then make sure to grab some strange coins before the weekend if you get the opportunity, as it does take a little while for them to stack up, but we can pick them up from Ritual Playlists, Strikes, The Gambit, and Crucible. Not sure why I said The Gambit, but if you feel like playing any of those, then of course you can stack up a few coins before Xur finally returns at the weekend. For today though guys, that's what we have to speak about, so as always I hope this one has been useful, and if it has, a rating below really does help us out on the channel. Also get subscribed so I can keep you posted with more Destiny content, but otherwise I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.